It's autumn, my second favorite season. Time to take out the pumpkin chai and the Halloween decorations, smell the autumn air, and enjoy the darkness at a reasonable hour. And since I'm feeling festive and want to play Pokemon, I figured I'd set myself a challenge and make a shiny seasonal team. Here are the rules. Pokemon must have the vibes for that season. It's up to you to decide which Pokemon count for what. At least one holiday/event Pokemon. I'm picking Halloween for this one. Only one starter Pokemon. Cannot have more than 3 Pokemon of the same type. And this one's optional, but I added a 5th rule that said no Pokemon that I already had. So what Pokemon am I going for? Well, I wanted to start with the Halloween one since most of the ones I could think of I already had. The Chandelure line, Trevenant, Mimikyu, those were all out. After narrowing it down, I came up with these options. Duskull/Dusclops. They're ghosts and they're red, which is an autumn color. Zorua/Zoroark. Right vibes, wrong color scheme. Houndstone, another good one, autumny colored. Joltik/Galvantula. Spiders and yellowy is autumny. Honestly, I was leaning toward Houndstone here, but then I saw I had a Joltik outbreak, and this is a hunt I've been dreading. Every time I see people online hunt these things, they say they could tell, but I just couldn't. Anyway, this was the first hunt of the challenge, and I was feeling under the weather. Just congested and dry eyes, nothing major, but enough that I didn't want to try to find this thing by looking at it. So instead I relied on a different technique. In the early days of Scarlet and Violet, when I was hunting Charcadet, I realized that only 15 Pokemon appeared. I'd make sure to check those 15 before resetting. But then someone else discovered that the shiny Pokemon actually don't count toward this 15, so if there's 16 Pokemon, then one's a shiny. I guess I never noticed before because I'd see the shiny and stop counting, but this person's a genius. Just stand in a corner, count the Joltik, and... Okay, well that was pretty obvious, but to be fair, if it was near the crystal and the rest weren't, I would not have noticed at all. I only saw it because I knew there was a shiny there. Now normally I'd move on, but Galvantula has more Halloween-y vibes than Joltik, and I kind of have a self-imposed rule that I don't evolve a Pokemon until I have enough to make the whole line. Because like, what if later I get a shiny Galvantula and now I have 2 Galvantulas and no Joltik? So I stuck around a bit longer and got another one. Cool, Halloween Pokemon off the list. Next is a starter. There are a lot with autumn colors, which is why I limited it to just one, but I went for Chespin since most of the other Pokemon I was thinking of getting later are gold and Chespin is bright red. I caught this one super quickly, so decided to head to Kitakami to get some of the others I was looking for. Mostly Seedot. I mean, they're acorns. I need an acorn. But there were some other Pokemon there as well, including Fomantis. My first shiny Fomantis was wild. I was trying to finish the Kitakami dex. And I just caught something and I looked down at my phone to see what the next Pokemon to catch was, and I saw it was Fomantis. There was a group of them right in front of me in the tall grass, so I just walked around. So I just walked up and encountered one and looked back down at my phone to see what the next Pokemon to catch was. And I heard their shiny sound, so I looked up, and it was shiny. Yeah, I thought it was so lucky that I got that since there was no way I'd come across one again, and yet... It helps that the grass wasn't long here, but still, Lurantis was on my list since it's that beginning to turn yellow gold that you see in the beginning of autumn. But then my sandwich was nearly done and I wasn't worried about missing a possible Fomantis anymore, so I decided to fly since that would be easy to see from the sky, and... Welp. I've got the whole Lotad line anyway, so moving on. Next is Sentret. There's just something autumny about Sentret. I actually tried to shiny hunt Sentret before, because Sentret was my first shiny Pokemon. I'm not counting like the Gyarados. I thought the Gyarados was like there was only the Gyarados that could be a different color, you know? And like, just that specific Gyarados, not like wild Gyarados. Like, I didn't know shiny Pokemon existed, basically. I remember the day I was on YouTube and discovered that shinies existed, and I was watching a video on how to hunt in all the games. I was playing Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and the person said in those games there wasn't radar hunting like in Platinum, so the best thing to do was just run around in the grass till you find something. So I went to an early route, and just as they were saying something like, it can take hours and some people never see a shiny Pokemon, I came across Sentret. That was my first and only successful full odds hunt. I'm probably never good. Well, I'm going for Celebi, but I'm probably never gonna do any other full odd hunts. Okay, maybe Arceus. Okay, but Celebi and that Sentret, those are like the old odds, the full one in 8,192, I think. I think I still have that Sentret. I think it's a Pokemon Bank though, I don't think I brought it up. It should be in there with like a few other important Pokemon. I think I have a Duskull from Oras when I was on my way to stop Maxie from stealing the orbs. I think I have a Stevens Beldum in there too, or maybe it's a Metagross by now. Does that Vulpix look weird, or am I... Oh, is it shiny? Sweet, this was also on the list. Is that... Now it shows up. Hello! Okay, third Pokemon in a row that I wasn't currently after, but they were all on the potential autumn team list, so that works out wonderfully. Now if only Sentret would... Okay, so I took a break, stepped away after the sandwich, and then came back later with a fresh cup of tea and renewed energy. I made a new sandwich, started flying over the Sentrets, and found it right away. I dropped from the sky, saved and counted it, and realized after I caught it that I wasn't recording. You can see the exact moment I realized. I grab a screen recording as I hit record so you can see the exact moment the image quality gets better. Anyway, that was the perfect way to end the hunt. A full autumn themed team. We headed to the northwest where it's always orange and set up a picnic. Look at all these beautiful Pokemon. This was super fun, I would definitely recommend. Not sure what I'm gonna do for winter with that no more than 3 Pokemon with the same type rule, but I guess we'll see. Anyway, hope you had fun! Let me know if you're planning on doing something similar with which Pokemon you think would be good for autumn. I had a whole 2 pages full of Pokemon that I whittled down, so there's a lot of different teams you can make. Bye!